Today's question of my Fluent podcast is, which word or phrase in any language makes you cringe?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? You know, with an Australian accent. ¿Cómo estás, mate? So that doesn't work.
It's adorable.
And just so you know, to cringe means to feel disgust or embarrassment, and often to show this feeling by a movement of your face or body. Usually here on my Fluent podcast, we discuss different methods on how to become a fluent speaker. And this time, I guess we shouldn't take it too seriously with our question. It's just that I got thrilled. I stumbled upon this meme in which it showed a face in anger and the phrase, which word or phrase in any language makes you cringe? And the author wrote down, a top one for me is Hola tía.
Hola tía, ¿cómo estás?
And I just thought it would be great to cover it here on my Fluent podcast and to show you guys which words make other learners cringe and why. So feel free to send your voice message as well to indicate which word or phrase makes you cringe. My email address is myfluentpodcast@gmail.com. So who knows, maybe today's question made you cringe. The first comment comes from Gabriel, and he wrote, "The word cringe is cringe."
I cringe, though, when I'm referred to as a finger painter.
I sit there and cringe for my own work.
It'll cause some people to cringe.
So next up is Michael, who wrote, "Anytime someone called me dude, bro, amigo, tío, as I would say in French, on n'a pas élevé les cochons ensemble," which means something like, just who do you think you are? I mean, a literal translation would be, we didn't raise the pigs together. It's used when someone you don't know talk or act with you as you were old friends.
I just offered to basically quit, because of the way I'm being treated. Like, dude, Terry, you're an idiot. This job is your lifeline,
I love you, bro.
And then Steph wrote, beaker, granny, and any Americanization where they say a superfluous second word, like tuna fish or kiwi fruit. We know a tuna is a fish. I didn't know the word superfluous. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Superfluous.
Superfluous means unnecessary, especially through being more than enough.
Okay, how about a tuna fish sandwich?
So next up is, when Americans are ordering food,
I'll take the soup.
And they say, I'll take this and this. Disgusting. I didn't understand why it is disgusting because, well, I don't see the point here, but my guess is because they don't say please, and it seems to be rude, but I don't know. So another word that makes someone cringe is like. And Olaf only wrote one single word, which is just like. But I must admit that I don't agree with him because I like the word like.
And I was like, wow, production's gotten really heavy and a really visceral kind of punch you in the face kind of way that was really muscular and meaty. And that was, I guess that's inspiring in a way of how kind of physical and visceral it's kind of become.
Next up is Adriana, who wrote, nothing really. Why would stuff like that bother me? Great attitude, Adriana. It's great because, well, in life there is enough stuff that are bothering us, I guess. So the next word comes from a dude called Joshua, and he only wrote one single word, which is verbiage, a great word which I didn't know, in fact.
Verbiage.
And it basically means excessively lengthy or technical speech or writing. And the second meaning is the way in which something is expressed. So I'm not quite sure if the author meant that the verbiage makes him cringe, or in general, if someone is excessively talking about something, that makes him cringe.
Coucou, aujourd'hui je te retrouve dans ce beau... Coucou. Coucou la beautiful qui nage.
And here we have a French one. Tanya wrote coucou in French, using lovely to describe literally everything, and that's all until now.
Yeah, so Shannon was a star of our last webinar.
So one of the programs that I offered was an hour-long webinar on poetry resources on the Library of Congress's website. Instead,
Alexander wrote action items, webinar, deliverables. Literally every bit of USA corporate speak makes me want to spin kick someone on the side of the head. And Patricia wants to know, why don't you like corporate language? And T goes like, it's just so contrived and full edgy. Yeah, I agree on that. And the last bit comes from George, who wrote in English, dope, to say cool, biased. When people disagree and have no other proof to make a point, they just imply there is prejudice or partiality. Mansplain, only when used in the wrong situations, by women who can't accept constructive criticism by men. Alright guys, that's almost it for today. My name is Daniel, and you were listening to my Fluent podcast. This was quite different from the other episodes, but as you may have noticed, on my Fluent podcast we are always experimenting and doing new stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for tuning in.